questions. Thanks again, Dave, for taking time to let me pepper you with these questions. The effects of being around the Enlightenment transmission, there's been many, so many that it'd be hard to enumerate them all over the course of the last 11 or 12 days. Some of them are really simple coincidences and wordplay. Can you talk a little bit about what kinds of phenomena can occur around the Enlightenment transmission, and do we ascribe any meaning to it? It's interesting, it's neat. Sometimes the coincidences seem to reveal more than others, but sometimes it's just a simple thing.
Well, I'm smiling because what we're really talking about are the effects of Enlightenment transmission, and it depends on what needs to be done. In the same way that a mother with her baby, when she hears her baby cry, she's like, okay, I've got to feed the baby, I've got to wind the baby, I've got to change the baby's nappy, I've got to make sure the baby's warmer, I've got to make sure the baby's cooler, I've got to make sure the baby goes out and gets pushed around in a pram, all those things. So the effects of Enlightenment transmission depend on the person. The person who hasn't slept enough, the Enlightenment transmission will just lay them down and they won't be able to move. The person who sleeps too much, the Enlightenment transmission will say, look, you've had enough sleep, now you're going to use that energy that you have. A person who they're too narrow focused in their life, they will start noticing and seeing things that they haven't seen before, all kinds of phenomena that isn't available to the ordinary senses. People that haven't had enough connection will start to feel loving connections and flow with other people, fear decreasing. So it depends on what a person needs. The reason why I smiled about it is because one of the classic signs of the Enlightenment transmission clearing a person out is all kinds of fluids and solids and liquids and gases coming out of a person. So that's why I laugh.
Were fluids and liquids and gases coming out of me then? They were.
They have been.
Yes, it's true.
Not that I paid much attention.
Okay. Food. It's been really interesting. Both my wife and I had the opportunity to, because you're in and living with us, and to observe, kind of how you eat and what you eat and so forth. And can you talk a little bit about the importance of the relationship with food in the process of awakening and the process of living life? I mean, obviously we need food to survive, but the observation I think that we've made in our time with you here is that there's a really granular level of detail that is part of the way that you live and the relationship that you seem to have with food, that even if we've played with kind of different kinds of experiments with food, that there's like a new depth that of developing a relationship with food that's available to us. And can you talk a little bit about the importance of that in your day-to-day life?
Well, when choosing food, or when food chooses you, it's really about asking the question, what is it that I want to get done today, and which food would serve me best to be able to get that thing done, and also to be aware which food is going to mess it up for me. I'm not going to get those things done. When people are sabotaging themselves, they deliberately go out and take substances and eat foods that are going to just give them an excuse to quit, to give up, to feel disempowered, to get headaches, to feel sick and nauseous, or just to keep eating and not do the thing they want to get done. So it's important to be able to feel, what is it that I'm being directed to do? And it's really a magnetic feeling. And then looking at the food and asking yourself the question, is this food going to serve me, or is this food going to hinder me? So that's the approach. So
as a father of four and having a busy family, and here come the Refuge folks to probably kick us off. Hopefully they won't notice us. They drove right by.
Yes.
Ruined the question.
Not necessarily. It's a mystical moment.
It is a mystical
You've been They might nab you on YouTube.
um, i- in America, you know, we eat on the fly, and so it's um, the types of foods we consciously disconnect from developing that it takes time to develop that relationship with food. I've watched you, you know, over a period of days, you make your soups and make your smoothies and make your the other things that you've eaten, and it takes time to tune in to develop the level of attunement to the food.
Uh, I've got my food planned out in a sense. You know, when we went to the farm, I chose what food's going to work for me, and then when I've got time, I prepare it. And sometimes I haven't had a lot of time, but I always make sure while I've been here that I make this very full smoothie, and it has many things in it. And I try to, you know, drink it before we go out, but I'm also eating on the fly. So actually it's no different from your culture here, because sometimes our schedule is so busy, I'm eating on the fly. But the thing is, I'm not going to grab foods that are going to ruin me. I can't. If I'm teaching people, if I've got to be open, if I've got to be sensitive, I can't ruin that. People are depending on me.
Does the transmission drive the relationship to food, or you know, did what came first? Did your attunement to food come first, and then the enlightenment came, or did the enlightenment come and as a result of what you were experiencing, you tuned in deeper to what food was required?
I don't think my diet was fantastic. I think it was reasonable. I think sometimes it was just economical, so it wasn't necessarily eating all the best foods. It's just what was available to me before I became enlightened. It's when I had to process the energies of other people that I couldn't be putting certain foods in my stomach, or I couldn't even eat at certain times, because processing other people's energies, the food would just come out of me. So again, it's knowing what it is that I have to do and eating in accordance with that. So my food is dictated by what I do, and wanting to give the best possible energy exchange and best possible service to people, then I have to eat certain type of food.
So I've noticed you don't eat meat. Why?
I don't have reasons for it, I just don't. I mean, it's probably I would feel heavy, and I may feel the animal. I think the nearer the animal is to mammal, the more we're going to feel them. And I don't have any judgment about it, what people do. I don't tell them. I tell people that if they want to follow a diet, it should be as fresh and as living and organic and as wholesome as possible. I'm open-minded. I think that some people eat for different reasons, and they're trying to keep a lid on certain things, so they may eat things that are heavy and numbing, just as people do things with their mind and with their lifestyle that are heavy and numbing. But my lifestyle has to be not numb, not heavy. It has to be light, it has to be open, it has to be sensitive, and it has to be constantly refreshing and renewing the energies that are passing through me. And the easiest things to do that with are things that are taken just fresh straight from the land, things that lots of people haven't touched, food that's been treated with love, care and respect, because that's what we're eating. We're either eating love, care and respect, or we're eating hate, disrespect and lack of care.